So, after the last few days, if not weeks, there's been a deal going on in the UK when it comes to Warner Brothers. Yep, you heard it here first. The Warner Brothers have just announced a huge mega deal. Now, truth be told, this deal was very hit and miss. But as we'll see from this article, the deal is going to go ahead. What does this mean for the TV industry? What does this mean for Warner Brothers? And the CW. I just had to throw that in there. So, without further ado, let's jump straight into this article. UK gives effective green light to Paramount Warner Brothers mega deal after assurances provided. Millions in investment and assurances about Channel 5's editorial direction and kids' TV helped allay Lisa Nandy's concerns. Oh boy. The UK will now not intervene in one of the biggest media deals in history after assurances, in other words, after lengthy arguments were provided to the government. UK Culture Secretary Lisa Nandy said in June she was minded to intervene in Paramount Skydance's $110 billion of acquisition for Warner Brothers Discovery over public interest concerns. Well, she had a point. Like, this is a pretty big merger we're talking about here. So she does have a good valid point, especially when it comes to Channel 5. Now, for those that don't live in the UK, Channel 5 is one of the channels that we have. We have ITV, BBC One, BBC Two, BBC Four. We also have Sky. We also have the UK version of Netflix. So this is a pretty big deal. But a statement from her department on Thursday said she will not due to the legally binding commitments provided to her by Paramount. The media and entertainment conglomerate said it would invest 80 million in the UK and ensure the news brands it acquired would remain editorially separate, as with the children's TV channels. So, in other words, they're not going to attempt to Americanize British news, which I think is pretty good going. And as well, the UK really hasn't seen a business deal like this in quite some time, and it seems to be surprising that only with the change of a prime minister that this deal is going to go ahead. Now, what does this truly mean for the news media? Will they still be biased or non-biased? That is the question that it raises, right? There are some pretty significant questions it raises. Does this mean that Warner Brothers is going to UKify the DC universe? Is Warner Brothers going to Americanize British television? There are still these questions which I think have not been answered. The only assurances have been, well, we're not going to mess with the news and we're not going to mess with children's TV, but that is such a small part of television. All right, let's carry on through the news. It is promised that Channel 5 will continue to operate as a public service broadcaster and be separate to the US news brand it owns, which is CNN and CBS. It added that CNN International will continue to be available to the UK. So that's pretty much the article. Wanted to just drop that in for you guys. Do like a mini stream. So there we go. What do you think of this big deal? Are we seeing the Americanization of British television? Leave me all your thoughts in the comments below and I'll respond to them in the next video. And until next time, blessings.